Like for a lot of women, we're told that the only way for us to tone up is by doing a lot of cardio, lifting light weights, restricting our foods. So no carbs, no this, no that. You want to know what happened when I did all of that? I stayed skinny. No muscle, no curves, no nothing really. And nothing really changed until I flipped the script and I started training differently. I literally stopped training like a girl and I started lifting weights like the guys in the gym who weren't afraid to lift heavy and push themselves. And that is when my body actually started changing and I started noticing the real gains. So in this video, I wanted to break down quickly how I went from skinny to slim thick by lifting heavy and training like a guy. And of course, how you can do it too. For the longest time, I thought I was doing everything right. I was eating quote unquote healthy. I was doing the salads, the smoothies, the low calorie snacks. I was training almost every day. Abs, light weights, cardio. But here's the truth, I wasn't really building muscle. My glutes were flat and my arms were still weak. And I didn't really have a lot of muscle definition. Now, naturally, I'm skinny. I've always naturally been a skinny person. I've never really had a lot of weight. And anytime I went to the gym, people would be like, oh, well, you're skinny, so you should be grateful. You should be thankful. You're so lucky because you're skinny. And what a lot of people don't understand and realize is that being skinny is just as frustrating as someone who is probably overweight and trying to lose weight. Being skinny and trying to build curves and build lean muscle is such a frustrating journey, especially if you don't really know what you're doing. And then I started following a lot of other female fitness influencers online. And then the question went to, how do I actually build the body that I want? And that meant changing my mindset from avoiding heavy weights to actually chasing strength, and from eating less to actually fueling my body, and from overtraining to actually having a structured workout program. Now let's talk about what actually builds the curves and builds that slim, thick physique. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it, but compound lifts are literally the key. So your squats, deadlifts, hip thrusts, overhead presses, pull-ups, these aren't just for men. They build muscle where you want it, your glutes, your legs, your back, your shoulders. And then of course, progressive overload. If you've been lifting the same 5 kg dumbbell for 6 months, your muscles literally have no reason to grow. You need to be adding weights and increasing your reps and your sets and your intensity every week. And if you don't know how to train, here is a sample training split. For day 1, you have your lower body where you train your glutes and your quads. Day 2, you have your upper body where you're doing push-pull. Day 3, you have another lower body session, this time focusing on your hamstrings and your glutes. And on day 4, you have a full body and accessory work. As women, we're conditioned to think that lifting heavy weights is for men who want to build muscle or look bulky. However, as women, our bodies physically are incapable of just looking like a man because we naturally go to the gym and lift some weights. The key to building that slim, thick physique, the key to building those curves, that hourglass shape, those big glutes, those thick hamstrings, it lies in lifting heavy. The very weights that you're afraid to lift, you're scared to pick up a 25 kg dumbbell. You're afraid to pick up a 20 kg dumbbell. You're afraid to do a heavy set of squats, but that is literally what is going to help you build the muscle and the body that you're looking for. Lifting heavy is how I was able to sculpt my body and build my slim, thick physique. And what a lot of women don't realize is that building muscle in all the right places is actually going to make you look a lot more feminine. Another mistake I made was under eating. And this is usually a mistake that a lot of newbies getting into fitness, we make, right? Because we think that the solution to being fit and maintaining a certain physique or having a small stomach, a tiny waist, is by eating less, not knowing that we're contradicting our results. Because in order for your muscle to grow, you need to actually fill your body, so you need extra calories. I had to truly understand how to eat because the first 2 to 3 years of my fitness journey, I didn't know how to balance my meals. I didn't really know about the protein and the healthy fats and having a balanced plate. So I would cut off certain food groups, for example, carbs. I will probably go days without eating carbs, eating dry salads because I thought that that was the key to getting the body goal that I wanted. And then I had to sit down and understand and learn nutrition. So what you have to understand is that you need to be in a slight calorie surplus. This just means eating a little bit more than what your body is burning, but not too much to a point where you're gaining more fat than you are muscle. Then I realized that I need to be eating a lot of protein. I was focusing more on other stuff and I wasn't really focusing on my protein intake. So if you're trying to build that slim, thick hourglass shape, please do not neglect your protein intake. Aim for at least 1 gram per pound of your body weight every single day. And if you have to, use a supplement. I love whey protein. So if you have to supplement your current diet with whey protein, please do so. Protein is the essential macronutrient that your muscle needs in order for it to repair and for it to grow. And lastly, when it comes to carbs and just healthy fats in general, we're usually conditioned to think that carbs are our enemy and we shouldn't have them in our diet. But carbs are your body's primary energy source. So you do need carbs. However, you have to be mindful of your portions, but you should not be cutting carbs out of your diet completely. Carbs is usually what powers your training, and healthy fats supports your hormones. Once I learned that and I actually started eating for strength and not just eating to stay small, my energy improved. I was training better. I was looking better, my recovery improved, and I was actually seeing growth in my glutes. However, beyond the physique, the transformation wasn't just physical, it was mental. When I was super skinny, I didn't really feel strong. I didn't trust my body. I was afraid of looking too much, but lifting heavy taught me discipline, it taught me resilience, and it taught me confidence. And that confidence spills into every single area of my life. And that's why going from skinny to slim thick isn't just about physical strength or physical appearance. And that's why going from skinny to slim thick isn't just about curves, but it's about strength. So if you're on the same journey that I have been on for the past almost 9 years now, and you're probably feeling stuck, I want you to understand and know that lifting heavy weights does not make you look masculine and will not make you look bulky. It makes you powerful and it will make you more confident, and it transforms me from skinny to slim thick. If you need a workout routine to help you on your journey, make sure you check out my programs down below. Let me know your comments in my comment section down below. And as usual, I will see you guys in my next video.